Hey guys, Marshmallow Chomp here, and here is everything you need to know about Brainwashing Junior High before the release of Inazuma 11 Victory Road, including everything from intricacies of formations, coaches, managers, players, moves, and if any of these characters have had any meta relevancy within the past games of the franchise. Now, before I get into this video, I would like to thank you guys for the views, support, and especially comments like this one for keeping me going, giving me that support. It really means a lot, especially as a smaller content creator. Um, these are things that really keep me going, keep me motivated, and they do mean a lot to me. That they're really, really nice, and I'm super thankful and grateful for them. And I can also assure you guys that when the game drops or when we're getting more news, the uploads, the live streams, and all that, everything in Azuma will be a lot more consistent. You'll be seeing 2, 3 things a week. But anyway, to kick things off, we'll take a look at the formation. So to showcase their robotic nature and precise actions, the Brainwashing team utilizes a 4-4-2 formation. It's fairly basic and does not need much discussion, as it's one of the most identifiable formations in football. 4 defenders at the back, 4 in the midfield, and 2 forwards. It makes for a very precise, simple game plan. But it's a good one that's stronger at the back. The game plan here is to just keep control, maintain control, and always have a 2-on-1 situation when trying to take the ball away from your opponent. You cover as much of the pitch as possible and rely solely on possession rather than going for any sneaky angles or insane game plan. This does weaken the overall offense a little bit as it's quite predictable and there's only 2 forwards, but the game plan here is that you'll never have to take an attack from your opponent, so it doesn't matter how weak your attack is when your opponents don't get to attack whatsoever. Next, let's look at the coach. For Brainwashing Junior High, the coach is Newton Thomas. He has like this headset and visor within the show, and what he did with this, depending on which of the stories you followed, whether it was sub, dub, game, show, it's all different. However, he either controlled the players or just talked to the players through this headset, which either way you shouldn't be doing in a football match, but controlling people is much worse than simply talking to them. So from this, we could have some form of stat boost for unified teamwork, as they're a very teamwork-heavy team. However, he was a coach in the Inazuma 11 Superdeformed mobile game, and from that we can see that he gave a +5 to the GP stat, which, in all honesty, I'm not really sure what GP did or was. But the interesting thing, the notable thing about this guy is he gave a +5 stat boost to every stat on Forest players, meaning that they very clearly wanted to make him a coach for Forest players, which is one of the 4 attributes within Inazuma 11. You've got Forest, Wind, Fire, and Earth, or Rock, whatever you want to say. So that's quite interesting. Also, we should mention that the +5 to GP will probably translate to something, so if he's keeping this theme of buff from being a manager, it could be anything. It could be like +5 kick, +5 stamina, anything like that. We also should look at the Aries brainwashing counterpart known as Inazuma Jr. This is basically a rebrand of brainwashing that wasn't problematic anymore. And because Aries is set a year in the future, not only did they have a now legal not brainwashing coach, but as a few of the students graduated in that 1-year gap, they did get a few new players too. So they did get a new coach. This coach is a big, strong, military-style guy. Large build, military aesthetic. Within the episode, he talks about tough and methodical training, and his prowess and how he plays the match focuses on power over strategy. So we could see boosts from body stats, boosting large build players, or something else entirely, such as kick stat. However, with that being said, let's start getting into the players, the interesting part, I'm sure, for most of you guys. So first up, we have Thomas Feldt, the goalkeeper captain of Brainwashing Junior High. He also played for the Dark Emperor's team and was the goalkeeper for them as well, which may be why he is arguably the face of the team. He's very popular, very strong. So let's get into this. So when we're looking at stats here, we can see that in the first game, all of his stats are sitting in high 60s up to high 70s, which is crazy, crazy, crazy. You're doing well if a stat is in the 70s, a singular stat. To have all of them with the lowest stat here is 68, put it that way. Then you go 69, 75, 76, 75, 78, 76. That is an insane stat line. Not to mention that one of those is guard at 76, the best stat for a goalkeeper. And 75 kick if you want a really strong forward that is Thomas Feldt for whatever reason. Now, when we move to the second game, this is pretty much just the exact same. In fact, I think it is the exact same. There's a few differences here and there, or are there? No, I think they're the exact same. And then when we go to the third game, these stats do drop. We're sitting in high 50s, 60s, still with 76 guard, which is good. That's the most important stat. And a freedom stat of 32, meaning you can up any stats by 32 times before other stats start coming down. So that's really high. If you put all of that freedom into guard, you're looking at 108 guard stat on a keeper, which is insane. That's really, really, really powerful. However, in the third game, the Dark Emperor's form is now recruitable, which does have a base guard stat of 80. It's also worth mentioning here that the rest of the stats are slightly higher as well. I think every single stat here is a little higher than the normal form, which makes sense. However, the freedom is only 7 as opposed to that 32. So the original form has more potential, but stat-wise, the Dark Emperor's form is base stronger. However, that does not mean the normal form is better, because when we come around to moves, in the first game, the iconic moves of Thomas Feldt are Shot Pocket and Rocket Kabushi. In that first game, he has Shot Pocket, Rocket Kabushi, Fireball Knuckle, Blazing Knuckle, sorry, wrong one, which is a fire punching move, and Defense Scan, which is a blocking move, which isn't really useful unless for whatever reason you are reverse positioning him, taking full advantage of those strange kick stats. I mean, already with all of these stat lines in all 3 games, you should definitely be recruiting Thomas Feldt. You should be looking at him, seeing his moves, all that, recruiting him. Now in the second game, what's different? We have Never Give Up to replace that defense scam, which increases your team's success rate and power with moves when you're losing, which is a great thing to have and a good one to have on keepers as well. So that's really good. Really, really good. Still has Shot Pocket and Rocket Kabushi as 2 iconic brainwashing archetypal moves, and then it gets Double Rocket, which is a move that he learns when he's playing for the Dark Emperors, which is a much stronger but higher cost punching move, which is actually a really, really strong move. And then in the third game, base form has Never Give Up, Shot Pocket, Double Rocket, doesn't even have Rocket Kabushi anymore, as it's replaced by Drill Smasher, which is Dvalin's goalkeeping move. Drill Smasher is better than Double Rocket, however, it's same type, and it's also a punching move. Double Rocket 2 is a punching move, and they're both fire. So it does kind of make that Double Rocket a bit obsolete. Also then just having Drill Smasher right after it, but it's a good move. And then the Dark Empress form, this is why this one's better. Has the skill Big Moves. Now, big moves might not sound crazy at first. It makes your moves cost more, but they're more powerful. The reason this is so strong is because it's just so strong. It increases the cost of your move and makes them super strong. And this is like the most used skill in meta tournament, like whatever you want to call it, competitive multiplayer play. When you had tournaments playing on the DS games, this is the best skill. This defines whether a character is good or bad. If they can have this, if you can teach this to someone, it's really good. If they naturally learn it, they're already considered pretty damn good. So yeah, big moves is on there. The other moves are Double Rocket, which is good. Shot Trap, which is interesting. I mean, it's a fire catch, pretty strong. It's around the same level as Double Rocket. The issue with these are are that they're both fire, and Thomas Feldt is a wood keeper, but Thomas Feldt gets Fiend Hand. It is a god move originally learnt by Darren LeChance, probably the strongest wood goalkeeping move, if not the strongest goalkeeping move, full stop, in the third game. Now pair that with same type attribute bonus, the fact it's naturally learnt, a natural guard stat of 80 before any modulations with things like gloves, and naturally learnt big moves, meaning that the 2 slots for moves that you can add on top being free. So you could add things like Power Element to make that even stronger. This made Thomas Feldt the strongest keeper in Inazuma 11-3. Of course, there's a bunch of competitive keepers, a bunch of different ones that are good. I really liked Lucifer personally. However, the best 2 in the game was this one, and a character that, if you're not familiar with the games, is Isla Pullins. If you are familiar with the games and the competitive scene, you'll know Isla Pullins. She's powerful in the second and third game. She has a thing called Charm Up, which makes her effective against male players, which, in Inazuma 11, 95% probably of the cast are male, so that's really strong. And she learned God Catch, so, there was some good things there. But she's only good because of that gimmick. Thomas Feldt is already good before having the gimmick of big moves and Fiend Hand. So in terms of just straight up strength, Thomas Feldt is the strongest, and Isla Pullins isn't even close. Thanks to her gimmick, they're about on par as the most used meta goalkeepers in the third game. I cannot stress this enough. Thomas Feldt was the best goalkeeper in the first 3 games that you could get. Just straight up the best keeper. So should you be looking for him in the new game in Victory Road? Yes. Should his stats be very strong? Yes. Should he have access to good moves? Even if he doesn't get Fiend Hand? Yes, I still think he should be having good moves. Not to mention, he's also really strong in Inazuma 11 Strikers on the Wii. Pretty damn tough to get past, so yeah, you should absolutely be going after Thomas Feldt. Next up, we will look at the main team defenders. So the first of which being Harry Leading or Leading. I'm not sure if it's Leading or Leading. Gotta love the English language. Then we move to stats. So the defenders, we're not going to be talking about these guys as much. They're not in multiple teams. They've not had meta relevancy. There's not as much to cover. So we look at the stats right away. Bad. The stats aren't even above 55. For a stat to be considered good, like something to talk about, it's around, say, 68 to 72. Anything above that is really, really excellent and should be definitely talked about, and is probably a good character, full stop, regardless of everything else. Not even hitting 60, let alone 55. That's really, really bad. Now, if we go to the second game, it's the exact same. The third game, we do see some movement. That there's a few increases. We have speed at 61, which is like, wow, that's a big increase. 61 is still really slow. Still really bad. So let's look at the moves. We have defense scan, attack scan, about face, and patriot shot, or patriot shoot. So attack scan, defense scan, pretty much every brainwashing player has. It's their iconic moves. They're cheap mid-range block and dribble. Their wood element. So it's nice to see that every character has a dribble and a block pretty much. It makes it so that every encounter in your team, you have an option, whether you've got the ball or are trying to regain possession, you have an option to use a move. This also makes it hard on your opponent. Pretty much every encounter, they're forced to use a move, use up their team tension, use up their, super tactics and that in the new game. They'll be having to use them to get around the fact that every single player has something to use against them. That's pretty nice. But as we can see here, the stats aren't that good. Patriot Shot is also like Brainwashing's iconic shot move, or archetypal is what I'll be calling them throughout the video. It's okay. It's basically the same stats as Fire Tornado. It's a shot, 33 cost, fire. Um, doesn't have anything else. The only thing that Fire Tornado has that's better is that it can block shots, whereas Patriot Shot can't. Um, However, in the second game and third game and onwards, well, actually, technically, Fire Tornado wasn't a block in the first game because they didn't exist. So, in the second game onwards, Fire Tornado became a block. In the second game onwards, Patriot Shot became a long shot. Now, long shots are harder to activate in Victory Road, however, they will still have that extra edge that gives them a bit of versatility. So, if your defender's going to have anything, you're going to want them to have a long shot if for some reason they have a shot. However, it's very important to note that he's a wind defender and this is a fire shot, so you're not getting that boost. So, not great, but it does have a long shot. The second game, the moveset's the exact same. The third game, we're replacing that About Face, which is a weak, low cost, high foul rate block move for Invisible Fake, which is good. It's a higher cost dribble move. It's pretty decent, but it doesn't match element and the character's bad anyway. So an okay move doesn't make a bad character okay, it makes a bad character still bad with an okay move. So, nothing going on there with old Harry here. So after Harry, we've got Terry Stronger. He looks pretty damn cool, if I'm going to be honest. He is a fire defender, which is fairly rare. You don't see many fire defenders. However, rare doesn't mean great, because, some of the best defenders in the whole franchise are fire. Thiago Torres, almost the icon of defending in Inazuma 11, is a fire defender. I have 3 favorite characters in Inazuma 11. One of them is Malcolm Knight. He too is a very strong fire defender. So, if you're in a draft and you get in an option as a defender and he's here and you want that fire defender, that's great. If you're just playing the game and there's no draft, you can have anyone in Inazuma. There's many much better fire defenders. Getting into the stats, again, terrible. We're not even hitting 55 in the first 2 games. In the third game, I mean, some go up. We see guard at 57, stamina 55, guts 68. That's good. That's almost 70. But the rest really do bring it down. The moves, let's move on to the moves. See if there's any redeeming qualities here. We have defense scam, we have attack scam. So, they're the 2 that everyone seems to have. We have Psycho Shot and Kung Fu Header, which are 2 shot moves on a defender that aren't long shots or shot blocks. So it's very rare that these will ever come up. I mean, they might. It's easier to do this sort of thing in Victory Road, where you just have a defender go up the pitch, so that's kind of nice. But not a single move here. Every single move here, sorry, should I say, is wood. And he's a fire player, so you're not getting any boosts there, and the moves aren't that great either. In the third game, however, we do replace Kung Fu Header for Assault Shot, which is a sort of, I would class this as a game archetypal move for Brainwashing. You do see it in Brainwashing a lot, but you don't really see it in the show. It's a long shot, great, perfect for a defender, and it's fire, so you do get that same type attribute bonus. So this is really good. Long shots are great at clearing the ball. They might catch a weak keeper off guard or one that's tired, so that's nice. But the stats are kind of bad. Like, even in the third game, 48 kick is the highest he goes. You're not going to be doing too much damage with that. So there's Terry. Not really that good. Probably wouldn't recommend going after them. After that, we have Philip Marvel, a mountain attribute of defender. Mountain's a really common attribute for defenders. He does have one thing going for him right off the bat, though, and that is the fact that he is a large build defender. If you don't know why that's good in Victory Road, the build does impact things. Basically, they have a larger hitbox, a larger model, so they can intercept passes easier or crosses from the sidelines, the wings. They can intercept those passes. Also, they can receive passes easier. I know sometimes small build players have a problem where if a long ball comes in, it might just bounce over their head and they're too small to get it. A large build player, that's never going to happen, so that's something good. We look at the stats here, nothing crazy. They're all below 50s. Same in the second game. Go to the third game, still nothing crazy. We have body at 62. but everything else still isn't even 60. So all bad. I mean, I'd still say 62's bad personally, but when you're just messing with 50s, it's a bit of a surprise. Moves. We have defense scan, we have attack scan, we have dynamite shoot or shot. I don't know why all these defenders have shots, especially not long shots that are not even matching element, not brainwashing shots or useful. It's kind of sad, honestly. It's pretty wasted. We do get rolling hell though, which is a really, really, really strong dribbling move, and it is mountain attributed, so it does get that bonus of having same type. That does make him pretty good. You know, you've got a large build player with a good matching element dribble. There might be something to this one. If you see him in a draft, he might be worth a grab. Second game, the exact same moveset. Third game, we lose the Rolling Hell, which is a shame. It's replaced, however, with Mad Express. Mad Express doesn't match element as it's fire, so you're losing that attribute bonus. But Mad Express is one of the best, if not the best, block defender move in the game. So that is kind of a good trade, and he is a defender, so you're going to want them on your defenders the most. So that's pretty good. Um, so, you know, out of everyone here that we've done so far, is definitely the best pick. You know, is defender with okay moves. Um, he's a defender with good moves, which brings him from bad up to okay. Next up, we have Noel Good. I'm imagining he's not going to be very good. He is a forest attributed player. However, in Super Deformed, he becomes a mountain attributed player. He is also large build, which we've already discussed why that's good. And for the sake of discussing him right now, I'll only be looking at him as if he's a forest player. He's mountain in Super Deformed, but we're looking at mainline. In Victory Road, it's likely that he's going to stay as a forest as opposed to a mountain. However, you know, take it in mind that he might become a mountain attributed player. Looking at the stats, I'm disappointed once more. 55 guard is the only thing above 50. I mean, it is the best stat for a defender to have, but 55 is still terrible. You want to be looking at like 70, 80, not 55. Second game's the same. Third game, things go up. We have guard at 60 now. For some reason, stamina goes up from 48 to 71, which, hey, 71's a good number. Stamina's a pretty bad stat, but we're not looking at the DS stats here. We're looking at Victory Road. Stamina might be something that is a different stat because the stats have different names in the new game, and that stat might be great. So to have that stat high, whatever it might be, the mystery stat, could be something interesting, could be something good. Now, in the games, let's see what his moves were. Attack scan, defense scan, the iconic brainwashing moves. They are forest, which is matching element. Great. Also get Psycho Shot, matching element to wood, sure. But again, why do we have these weak shots on defenders? No clue. He then gets Earthquake, which is a mountain move. So if he is mountain, all of the others aren't matching element, but Earthquake is. And honestly, Earthquake is quite a good defending move. It lacks versatility because it's not a shot block, but it is still pretty strong. It's like a good mid-range move. And if it is matching element, it does make it that extra level of good. If it's not matching element, it's still good. And I guess you do have the versatility of having a dribble, shot, and block move that are matching element, which is interesting. I guess it's a defender that you can have on the bench, because then when you sub him on, he doesn't necessarily have to be a defender. He has the shot, so he could be a forward. He has the dribble, so he could be a midfielder. You know, he's going to be bad in every position, but he's not going to be awful in any of them. I guess it's like a bad version of Jack of all trades. Second game, the moves are the same. Third game, we lose Psycho Shot, which is like, okay, why did we even have that? For Perimeter Zone, a wind block move. So regardless of what he is, this won't match element. It's a little better than Earthquake though, so that's kind of nice. But still nothing too amazing. After that, let's look at the midfielders. So we have Tyron Rock. Pretty cool. not pretty cool. This guy's sick. He's fire midfielder. Let's look at the stats. We've got nothing above 52, so nothing crazy. Kick 51, guts at 52. Same in the second game. Third game, the stats go up a little. We see 56 kick, 63 control. They're still bad though. This is what I mean. You get these great improvements, but they're still not even good. Moves. Let's look at the moves. We have Breakthrough, which is matching element, high foul rate dribble move. Matching element's great. We have Patriot Shot, which is matching element once more, but is a shot, so that's pretty good. We have Defense Scan. We don't actually have Attack Scan. This is the first player we've come across, except for Thomas Feldt, that doesn't have one of the two moves. And then he does go on to learn Reflect Buster. Not matching element, but a very, very strong shot. So probably, after Thomas Feldt, at the minute, the player you want to be looking at the most. I mean, we did see Marvel. There's a few things there. But this guy seems pretty good. In the second game, the moveset's the same, but of course Patriot Shot is a long shot. Matching element long shot, strong base shot, a block and a dribble, the dribble being matching element. This moveset is very nice for a naturally learnt set. If this is what he gets in Victory Road, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Then in the third game, we see Breakthrough replaced by Breakthrough 2. Higher cost, still high foul rate, but it is still matching element as well. Making him better? Question mark? I don't know. He's still good. I'm not sure it's better, but it's different and good. And then we replace Reflect Buster for Slingshot, which is still not matching element, but it's a little weaker than Reflect Buster, I believe. But still good. It's still good. It's about the same. They're both just base shots. I don't really know what to say. It's good. It's just not Reflect Buster good. But it's also cheaper, so that might be good. After that, we have Francis Tell, a Forest midfielder. Looking at the stats here, we are not seeing anything break 50 even. Wow, these are all sitting in the 40s except for 53 body. I'm guessing the same in the second game, yes. Move to the third game. We see a couple in 60 guard, 62 speed. That's still bad. For the moves, we have a full Forest moveset in the first two games with Attack Scan, Psycho Shot, Defense Scan, and is this... yes, Shadow Stitch. Shadow Stitch is a nice mid-range block move, but we have 2 blocks, a shot, and a dribble. All Forest. That's not really useful. In the third game, we lose Shadow Stitch for Gunshot, a fire attributed shot move. Pretty strong. It's like mid to high mid cost, but that also means mid to high mid power. So you know that's pretty good. But Forest element player, you know, a lot of matching element stuff going on. But the moves in general are weak to okay, and the stats are just bad. So not too great. Midfielder next up is the fire element, Sam Buster, or Samuel Buster if you want to go for his full name. He is average build. Stats, I mean, what, we have 55 kick? Hey, that's above 50. Second game, the same. Third game, 67 body, but that's only okay. Moveset. First game, we have Attack Scan, Dynamite Shot, Defense Scan, and Reflect Buster. Hey, that's a good moveset. Then we lose Attack. No, we lose Defense Scan for the Recovery skill. Everything else is the same. Recovery is a skill where once you're tackled, you get up faster off of the ground. This is one that can translate really easily into Victory Road, and I think will be in Victory Road. If that's the case, great. He gets recovery. You lose a block move, but if you're having like a winger, they don't always need one. And I guess you can always teach him one. But let's be real, why are we even playing this guy in the first place? Then in the third game, we keep recovery. We get Breakthrough 2 as opposed to Dynamite Shot. We keep Attack Scan. And we lose Reflect Buster and instead get... is that Ganymede Ray? Yeah, Ganymede Ray. which we did see in the Victory Road beta test, so we already know how that works, we already know what it is. It's a decent move, it's a forest move. He's a fire player, so that's not great, but it's okay. And then, finally, for the first team midfielders, we have Victor Kind. Well, Kind. And then, let's look at the stats here. This guy also does something really sick in the show. Sets up this, like, 3-player shot on mark. I really like that. It's a really cool moment, and one of the reasons I think Brainwashing's a sick team. It's just a real shame that all their players have terrible stats, especially when Occult and Wild, which should be weaker teams, have some insane stat lines on them. And Brainwashing are all just sitting at like the 40s. This guy's no exception. Body 53, everything else. Oh, guard 51, everything else. Okay, I'm lying. Stamina 53, everything's below 55. Let's just put it that way. Second game, the same. Third game, did anything even change? Control is now 64, and Guts is 49. Still all bad. Put it that way. Moveset. Defense scan, attack scan, psycho shot, and twin boost. Twin boost's Jude's move that he does with Samford. Kicks it up, heads it down, blasts it in. That's a mid-average, okay moveset. I mean, you've got a lot of versatility, but it's just not very strong either. And then in the third game, we replaced Twin Boost with Twin Boost F, the upgraded one where it's got Fire Tornado. I actually really like that because, of course, Neil Turner uses Fire Tornado. He too knows the move. So I like that touch to his moveset. That's kind of cool. Not to mention that Twin Boost F is a stronger shot. Of course, it costs more, but it's stronger. So that's cool. I like that. Is it good? Does it make him good? No. Does it add to like the sort of lore and little references? Yeah, and I think that's sick. The thing as well, he's wood element and all of the sort of brainwashing moves, attack scan, defense scan. For some reason, Psycho Shot's in here as well now. A forest, so he gets that same type bonus, which is very nice. Then we will move on to the forwards of the team. Before going to the most iconic, super cool one that's also an adult in Victory Road, we are going to Jonathan Seller, a wind attributed forward. This guy's pretty cool too. He's part of that 3-player thing that I was on about earlier. So he has terrible stats. We have speed at 55, kick at 55, and everything else is below 55 for the first 2 games, and then the third game, I mean, stamina goes up to 58, and then everything else is still below 55. Not great. So remember here, he is a wind player, and in all 3 games, he doesn't get a single wind move. We see Psycho Shot, Attack Scan, Defense Scan, and Fire Tornado, which, you know, he gets Fire Tornado because Neil Turner knows Fire Tornado. The second game, it's the exact same, and the third game, we actually lose Fire Tornado in place of getting Double Jaw, which is Cote Victoire, Little Gigants, or Gigants, Drago Hills move that they use in the final of the FFI. So, you know, that's a very strong move. It's used against Mark in the final match of the World Cup thing, the FFI. So it's a good move. It's a fire move, though, which doesn't match, but it's strong. And I'm guessing they've given him this because, you know, Neil Turner gets Fire Tornado. I know he gets Fireball Storm at some point as well. He sort of gets like all the Axel moves. I'm guessing they're just like, hey, let's give this guy a Kevin-like move. I don't know. Is he worth going after? No, he does look cool though, so yes. And then finally, Neil Turner. Neil Turner has a few things to note here. He did play for Neo National as well, so he does get some nice spicy things added to his moveset. He is awesome. Full stop. He also, something I don't think people realize is he scores on mark a lot. He scores on mark before the brainwashing match. He, I think, at least gets an assist in the match against Mark. He then scores against Mark whilst playing for Neo National. You might think, oh yeah, but you've got all the aliens, they'll score on him. This guy's not used the power of the Alias Crystal, he's not used the power of God's Aqua. This guy just... And also, he's not been like super over leveled in comparison. You know, whenever this guy has faced Mark, the teams have been at equal strength. Raimon and Brainwashing, equal strength. I guess Inazuma Japan and Neo National, equal strength. And yet this guy always scores against Mark. So this guy, equal strength to Mark, better. That's something you guys should look out for. This guy's pretty cool. This guy's pretty cool and does not get enough praise for what he does. So enough yapping, enough glazing. He's a fire forward. When he plays for Neo National, Neo Japan, he is a midfielder. But that's just because, like, I think something stupid like 13 of the 16 Neo National players are all forwards. So, you know, they can't all be forwards. But yeah, so let's get into the stats. Boom, stats. They're bad. They're bad. They're all below 55. He's unfortunately a brainwashing member. Now, that's for the first two games. When we go to the third game, they're still pretty bad. He does have 70 control, 57 kicks, not awful. It's not good, but it's not bad. 60 stamina, 62 speed. I mean, look, we're not sitting in the 40s. We're not sitting in the low 50s. We're sitting in the 60s, high 50s with a stat at 70. This is something that you could see as a player and think, wow, this guy is above average. This guy's maybe worth giving a go if we look at the moves. Which, coming from a team like Brainwashing, where everyone else has had dookie stats and dookie moves, this is pretty good. Of course, except for Thomas Feldt. So, let's look at the moves. First game, Patriot Shot, matching element shot, nice. Fire Tornado, matching element shot as well, nice. Attack Scan and Defense Scan, not matching element, but you get an attack, a dribble, a block, and a shot. Great. And the shot, which is the most important part of the forward, being matching element, so you get a little stronger. Now in the second game, we completely change that up. We lose Attack Scan and Defense Scan. We keep Patriot Shot and Fire Tornado, because of course he's known for that. The interesting thing here is Fire Tornado and Patriot Shot are both 33 cost fire shots. Patriot Shot's a long shot, Fire Tornado's a shot block, so you have that versatility. And then instead of Defense Scan and Attack Scan, first of all, we get Cool Up, which makes him super effective against female players. Pretty interesting, you know, if you're coming across that Isle of Poland's, Neil Turner's your guy. He counteracts her super effective against male players with his super effective against female players. They sort of clash and cancel each other out. Nice, interesting, sure. If that's a thing in Victory Road, that will make him worth looking at. And then we lose the other scan move for Assault Shot. Again, fire attributed move, so he's getting that same type bonus. But it's a little stronger than Fire Tornado and Patriot Shot, and it's a long shot, so nice. And then the third game, when he becomes a neo-national player, we keep that Cool Up, which is the thing against female players. We get Gunganir, Dvalin's move, which is awesome. So sick. This is what he uses to score a mark. Gunganir is a sick move. We keep Fire Tornado, and then we lose Assault Shot in place of Fireball Storm. Which in the second game at least is a mega move, a god move, whatever you want to call it. It means it can level up a lot more than other moves, and it's super, super strong. So all in all, you have a cheap move, a strong base move, and a long shot that's really, really powerful. Unfortunately, Gunganir doesn't match element, but it's super strong. And, you know, he's a bit of a favourite with level 5. He gets into Strikers, gets into Super Deformed, gets into all these things. Is the captain of Inazuma Jr High in Aries after, you know, like Thomas Feldt graduated. Got a Inazuma 11 license made of him, so if anyone's going to... And yeah, we've already seen that there's an adult version of him. If anyone's going to get a lot better in Victory Road, like fan servicey, it's probably going to be Neil Turner. We've covered that lot, so I guess let's look at the bench players. First of all, we have Reg, excuse me, Underwood, or Under is for some reason his name, that's abbreviated. Stats, we are seeing 69 guard. Okay, that's good on a goalkeeper. 70 guts, that is the other stat used in goalkeeping calculations. Pretty nice. Everything else is low, but on a goalkeeper, honestly, that's not bad. Forgot to say this guy is a forest element. So, yeah. In some games, he plays as a midfielder for some reason. First game, he has attack scan, defense scan, psycho shot, and back tornado. Wow, a goalkeeper with no goalkeeping moves. That's a new one. I think this is a result only brainwashing could produce. It's actually a real saddening case that they're just kind of a running theme of being bad. It's it hurts. It hurts. It does. In the second game, we lose. What are we losing here? Psycho shot for shot pocket, which is a wood brainwashing iconic block goalkeeping move, and we lose back tornado in favor of Patriot shot. Now, back tornado's stronger than fire tornado and Patriot shot, but Patriot shot's a long shot, so come see, comes out, you know. And then third game, we lose back tornado or Patriot shot, whatever shot we have for some reason, for triple defense. Triple defense is a very powerful three-player goalkeeping move. So yeah, that's nice. That's very nice. But it's not matching elements, so maybe shot pocket's still better. No, it's not, but hey, we have moves. All in all, this guy, Reg Underwood, pretty good compared to most of them. A good bencher, because usually the bench players are also awful. This guy is a bencher on a pretty weak team. It's not bad. After that, we have Patrick Stiller, a winged midfielder. Looking at the stats here, 53 kick, 53 guts, 52 guard. We're sitting high 40s to low 50s. That's kind of bad. I'm getting excited, but it's just bad. I mean, the stats go up a little bit in Inazuma 3, like guts at 60, but that's still not good. For the moves, we have attack scan. Oh, only attack scan, okay. Meteor attack, which is a fire shot move. Quick draw, which is a wood block move, and free shot, which is a wood. Free shot's a wood move? A wood shot move. I would have thought it'd be wind, like Eternal Blizzard, which is basically free shot, but Sean Frost. So yeah, sure. He has moves, has variety. You know, a dribble, a shot, a block. It's not just attack scan and defense scan, it's attack scan and quick draw. The second game, the moveset's the same, and then in the third game, wow, this is quite different. The third game, we lose quick draw for a goalkeeping move, surprisingly. Utter Gutsiness catch, which is the one where they catch it with their bomb. Not sure why he gets that. He's not a goalkeeper. It's also not very strong, and it's not matching element. And we lose free shot for Spectacle Crash, which we did see in one of the trailers for upcoming content on Victory Road, which is the move that Willie uses where Kevin kicks it at him and it deflects off his head. So there you go. It is a shot chain, but I think most things are. I think everything is in Victory Road, so that's irrelevant. It's a mountain attributed move that's an okay shot. Nothing spectacular, nothing crazy, but he's a bencher, so no surprise there. Who next? Charles Autry, a mountain midfielder. Okay. Stats. I mean, I'm seeing more 50s and high 40s on the bench players than I think I was on the main team. I'm not actually sure, but hey ho. 58 guard in Inazuma 3, 67 guts, they're the best stats. 55 kick, it's kind of bad. Moves, we got Psycho Shot. Is that Flurry Dash? Flurry Dash, yeah. Defense Scan. Patriot Shot and Psycho Shot, okay. Okay, and then second game, Psycho Shot, Flurry Dash. Yeah, it's the exact same. Third game, instead of Flurry Dash, we have Meteor Shower, which is a fire dribble move used by Genesis, not Genesis, sorry, Epsilon. And yeah, everything else is the same. Okay. It is Epsilon, right? Second name? Yeah. So he's okay, I suppose. Not really. You could very easily miss him and never ever care, just like most of these. Next we have Clive Mooney, a fire forward bencher. Okay, forward, bit interesting, especially because the others were kind of underwhelming. Let's see what we got. Maybe hidden potential. 53 kick, 54, nah, nothing great. 55 speed. I mean, still a lot of them are 50. The third game, this doesn't go crazy. The 58 kick. Um, I mean, what? Fire attribute, we have Patriot Shoot. As fire attribute, we have Killer Slide, which is a wood block. We saw a lot of this in the Victory Road beta test, so I'm sure you're sick of seeing this. We have Breakthrough, a fire dribble. We mentioned this earlier with one of the other players. And is that Utagutsinus Bat? That is Utagutsinus Bat. Really stupid, goofy move. I don't know why they have the Utagutsinus moves. I thought they're supposed to be like a dead serious team. And maybe that's the joke. Uh, but it is worth noting that it is a fire shot move. It's stronger than the likes of Patriot Shot, Fire Tornado, the ones that we're seeing a lot of here. So, hey, that's not bad, I guess. It's got something. And then in the third game, because the second game it's the exact same, it's the exact same once more. Except Utagutsinus Club becomes Mountain. I did not know that. Utagutsinus Club changes attribute, which is detrimental to this one guy. And then finally, we have Neil Waters, a forest defender, which notable because these guys don't have anything else going for them. Large build player. So we have a large build fire, mountain, and wood defender. That's something cool. Stats. Nothing above 55. Third game, we see body go up to 64, stamina go up to 64. That's about it. So, what was this guy again? Forest? Yes, Forest? Yes. So, for the moves, we have Defense Scan, which is matching element. We have Sumo Stomp, which isn't matching element and is weaker. Patriot Shot, which don't know why he's got a shot that's not matching. Strange. And then gets the Wall, which isn't matching element, but is a little stronger than Defense Scan. The second game is the exact same. The third game, instead of the Wall, we get Iron Wall, which is Tiago Torres' move, which is stronger, but not matching element. It's a pretty good move, though. So, I don't know, large build, Iron Wall, probably better than a bunch of the main team with stats like that. So yeah, that's it. That's all of the players. However, not quite. If we look at Aries and Amasana Junior, which is the same team, it's just because they're not using brain powers and cheating anymore. They've sort of rebranded their school, or maybe they've joined a school. I'm not quite sure what the law is there. It's never said. But Aries is set a year in the future. So anyone who's a third year in Inazuma 11 1 and 2 is graduated by the time of Aries, meaning that there are some new players. So we have some replacements. First of all, Thomas Feldt has graduated. They get a brand new goalkeeper that's not just the bencher, called Gideon Poe. Things like stats we can't really talk about here for these few players, except for Gideon Poe. We can sort of talk about him. But he is a fire goalkeeper. Now, the reason we can sort of talk about stats is because he is in an Inazuma 11 Super Deformed, the mobile game. So the stats we can talk about is the fact that he has Splash Guard, which is the Sandra Fisher's move from Aries, and Shoot Pocket, which is no surprise, the Brainwashing Keeper gets Shoot Pocket. We also see him use Shoot Pocket in the show. Also apparently learns Rocket Kabushi at some point, which is quite interesting now I think about it, because the other goalkeepers were both wood, I believe. This guy's fire, Rocket Kabushi's fire, so he actually leans more into the fact that he can use Rocket Kabushi and Double Rocket over Shoot Pocket. That's pretty cool. I'm excited to see Gideon Poe. I think he's cool. It's a shame that that Aries episode's so short and you don't see most of the Aries players do anything for brainwashing in that match, because he's pretty cool. And yeah, I'd like to see more. After that, we have... Who else is new here? There's a couple of them. Here we go. We have Electra Faraday, a wind male midfielder who was also in Super Deformed. So we have a few things to talk about here. Defense scan, and a Aries new move, Centrifugal Blast, which is used by Polestar Academy. Pretty good move, pretty strong move, and it is wind. It's matching element. Hey, this like new generation, might actually carry. So brainwashing might be bad, but these three Animasana players might be what we need. I mean, on top of Thomas Feldt and Neil Turner, we might have a bit of a decent little squad going on here. The final one is Darren Gauger, who isn't in Super Deformed, so we can't talk about them. What we do know is that they are a midfielder, and we can very clearly see this guy's hench. This guy is large build, so that's good. Midfielder, large build, that's also pretty uncommon. And looking at the other two being pretty good from what we can see from Super Deformed, honestly pretty excited to see this guy in the new game. And he looks pretty damn sick as well, so might have to just slot him in a team somewhere, test him out. Awesome. That is every brainwashing player, Animasana player as well. Talked about the formation, talked about the coaches. There's no managers really to talk about or anything like that. So yeah, that's everything there is to talk about brainwashing. You now know everything that there is to know. You know that Thomas Feldt is a meta goalkeeper. You know Neil Turner has potential. You know a few of the players might be okay. If you really want to play brainwashing, I mean, just play them. Don't worry about the stats. Just enjoy them. The formation, you know how to play it now. You know what the coaches might be doing. And, you know, you've got some insight on what some players might be forecast to do. For the most part, though, the main thing to expect, they're probably mostly all going to have attack scan, defense scan, and average to below average stats. Thank you so much for watching, though, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know who your favorite brainwashing player is and what team you want to see next. Or we'll just go to the next team that came up in the show. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.